What starts as a spark of talent can turn into a flame of passion and commitment that ignites the strength, confidence, teamwork, and poise that makes one a ballet dancer. The School of Ballet Chicago is here to nurture that talent and help students not only develop into wonderful dancers, but to help them become truly great people. However, the School of Ballet Chicago and all the dreams it's helped achieve wouldn't be here if it weren't for Daniel Duell and Patricia Blair.
We founded Ballet Chicago as a company, a professional company, but always with the intention, the dream, to have a school that supported that company. The spring of 1994, that opportunity came along, and as things evolved, the school took off on its own, but we kept a strong performance aspect to our curriculum as kind of a culmination of each season, fall and spring. And we chose a guiding aesthetic, that of George Balanchine, which is so tremendous for its contemporary American classicism and unique in our region, but also offers an experience not only of intense classical demand, but of extraordinary beauty in the music that's chosen, in the choreography that's done.
Since opening its doors, the School of Ballet Chicago has grown from 40 students in its first few months to more than 400 students annually.
When we started the school, we had very specific objectives. We wanted to create a curriculum that not only provided the artistic and the technical skills that they needed, but we wanted to educate them about the art form at large. We also felt it was so important that every student have the ability to experience live performance, participating in that. It's amazing what it brings to them. It's intense preparation. It's so much teamwork involved, and they learn how to harness their energies, how to use their excitement, and how to celebrate not only their own accomplishments, but those of everybody around them. It's educating them about the entire experience of being involved in this beautiful art. And to me, when they get on stage and they accomplish what they've worked so hard for, the pride they feel and the joy, those are things that last for a lifetime.
Children aren't the only ones to feel pride when they're on stage.
When you watch your child, you think, I can't believe they can do that. I mean, like, I could get a little teary thinking about it. When they get up on stage and you see them, you think, I don't know how Patricia and Dan got her to do that.
I remember the first time my daughter was getting on stage, and this is when I really knew that, you know, she loved being on stage and she loved ballet, because she turned to me, I was helping out backstage, and she turned to me and she said, Mom, I'm so nervous. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out there in front of all those people. And I said, well, don't look at the people. You know, practice it just like you practiced, you know, every day. Just practice it like you practiced this just a few minutes ago. Don't pay attention to all the kids and all of the adults that are out there. And she turned around, she got on stage. They did a flawless performance.
Beyond performances, the School of Ballet Chicago is teaching its students skills that will propel them to successful careers and successful lives on and off stage.
There's an air of integrity in these studios, I would say, at Ballet Chicago, and it's an aspect of my training that has carried through in everything else I've done since then. The idea that you treat the people around you with a level of respect and kindness that helps everyone improve in what they're doing has been very helpful in everything else I've done in terms of undergrad, college, and law school now. And the sense of community that comes from working towards something like a performance where it's very much based on all of us coming together as dancers. We're called a core. We are a body, not many bodies. And that's helped me hugely in all of my professional areas.
Ballet Chicago prepared me quite well for a professional career, actually. The level of commitment that is required to be a student here is quite indicative of the commitment necessary to be a professional dancer. You don't have to be nervous about getting on stage again in front of maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of people because you've been doing it. It goes back to the fact that they don't give you a reason not to. They only give you the confidence necessary to feel like you're able to be on stage and ready to take on what ends up being 40 hours of dance time, which is a lot of time on your feet.
Along with Daniel and Patricia, the School of Ballet Chicago features dedicated and talented teachers, many who were students here themselves.
They tell you you can do things that you didn't think you could do, and just by virtue of them telling you that you're capable of something. If you can, you must, this famous Dan Duell tagline. And there's something in that and their faith in their students that really allows students to actually do things that they never imagined they could do. And teaching was largely that for me. It would have never occurred to me, but it's turned out to be my next great love after actual dancing.
I have the perspective, as a teacher and student from Ballet Chicago, I am able to appreciate what the students are going through in the process of becoming a dancer or learning how to facilitate a potential career in ballet. So coming from that firsthand with Mr. Duell and Miss Blair as my own personal directors and now as my own personal bosses, really, I've got a kind of a way of approach that I can appreciate where the student is right now, and I can appreciate where the direction needs to come from.
When it comes to teaching ballet to students aged 3 and up, the children aren't the only ones learning.
I get a million things from my students. I walk into the studio and I see kids that one day were afraid to do anything, and they're smiling and excited and just ready to go. So every day seeing them learn new steps, find fulfillment in doing a new thing, or realizing that this thing that they've been working on for months is now something that they understand and can just get up and do it without any trouble. I mean, that level of confidence in anybody is inspiring, much less in a 7-year-old child or a 9-year-old or a 13-year-old or whatever. But they all, I mean, every day I'm given back the energy that I put into it 10 times easily.
My students do a lot for me, actually. The little ones just say the funniest things and are just so entertaining. The older students are just completely enamored with ballet and so exuberant. It's constantly reigniting and reinforcing my own passion for dance and for teaching, just to see how eager they are to learn, and they get very excited.
My name's Nada, and I love Ballet Chicago because the movements are very graceful and the teachers are very caring and helpful.
My name is Samantha, and I like Ballet Chicago because of the commitment and concentration.
My name is Danisha, and I love ballet because it gets you in a lot of work, and you get to do combinations that you really like, and it makes me happy.
My name's Naomi, and I love ballet because it makes me an athlete, and whenever I do combinations, it makes me very, very happy.
My name is Cynthia, and I love ballet because it's fun and active, and you get to do fun things that you love to do.
Although the School of Ballet Chicago has dedicated directors, teachers, and students, there is a need to grow in many ways.
The school here at School of Ballet Chicago is tremendously successful and more than pays its way. But there is so much more we could do in terms of scholarships for students, improvements even to these facilities, expansion of the staff and so on, if we can find the funding to do it. So our board, even though it's quite small, has vowed to do everything we can, and we're sort of using this next year as sort of a test case to see how we can go about increasing the funding that is available for the use of Dan Duell and Patricia Blair, the head of our school, so that they can expand the school, ideally bring in more students, offer more scholarships, and so on and so forth. So I think it kind of boils down to right now, how can we find increased funding?
In 1996, Ballet Chicago engaged in 2 outreach programs, SOAR and FAST. SOAR, or Statewide Opportunities for Arts and Recreation, is a program of the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. Through SOAR, Ballet Chicago provides weekly dance instruction for up to 75 underserved children a year. The Financial Aid for Scholarship Training, FAST program, offers year-round dance training to talented children who deserve the opportunity to explore dance, regardless of what their professional aspirations may be. Merit scholarships are also a necessity when it comes to finding the best and the brightest young dancers.
You have to reach out to find people who wouldn't ordinarily have access to a program like ours, which is very serious training in classical ballet. In a professional environment with the right floors and the right equipment and live music, pianists, the whole thing that gives them the full state-of-the-art experience of being trained in this art form. That's not available to everybody, especially of limited financial means or in places that ordinarily don't have access to cultural training or exposure.
About 40% of our students are on scholarship, and we would like to broaden that. You know, one of my dreams from the day we started the school was to be able to hold auditions tri-state all around the area and be able to bring children into the school who have the passion and the desire to be part of this art form.
It takes people like Philip and Marcia Dowd to help provide those opportunities. They have been patrons of the School of Ballet Chicago since 2002.
We asked them, what do you want us to do? You know, what really stands in the way of you getting up to the next level of where you want to be? And they started talking about scholarships. They explained to us that in order for them to get the best dancers, the best students for their pre-professional program, they needed scholarships.
Through the Philip and Marcia Dowd Merit Scholarship Fund, the Dowds have helped more than 150 students. While many of them are still in training, 1 in 6 of these scholarship students have gone on to professional careers in companies across the United States and Europe.
Part of the reward is to become personally acquainted with some of the students, not all of them, of course, but we've had some wonderful friendships develop with some of the students, and that way we get to hear more about their experience of the school and what it means to them. And there are a couple of them that stay in touch with us because we have other family ties with them. It's just wonderful. They're all very appreciative. We don't have children of our own, so in a way it becomes like a little mini family for us.
Family, teamwork, dedication, passion, talent, self-confidence, poise. Just a few of the words you'll find in the School of Ballet Chicago's story. You can write your own chapter to this story. We're looking for dreamers, believers, and achievers to help the School of Ballet Chicago. Whether it's by becoming a patron of the school, volunteering, or joining our board, we need wonderful people who share our vision of the School of Ballet Chicago.
We'd like to be recognized both nationally and internationally for the standard of training that we offer, for the standard of life values that we instill in the students, for the type of program that has a performance aesthetic as a guideline of training. And we'd like people to continue to graduate into performing careers. We've done, I think, over 50 of them now, as well as find their way to other serious life pursuits with this training as a format, a background for them.
Ultimately, in the end, we'd love to be considered the Harvard of dance schools, the school everyone wants to go to, the school that every other professional company in the country thinks, if we can get your students, we're lucky.
In my life, ballet has been so important because it taught me so much about not only who I am as a dancer, but who I am as a person. The understanding of being part of something far greater than yourself and how each thing you do is so important to the outcome. And I think for all of our students, whether they're dancers, whether they're lawyers, chefs, they're out there doing all kinds of things. but they have in them a sense of community, a sense of commitment and dedication that grew up in those halls. It's a very big life lesson when you're a child and you learn that what you do affects everyone around you. It informs you differently. You go about your life differently when you get that message, and I think all of these students get that in a very big way. You put 120 people in a room rehearsing one performance, it has the potential to be magic or chaos. Luckily, we keep creating magic with it. That is something that they each come to know. It's through experience they know. They know that they matter. They know that what they do matters. And I think that's a beautiful platform to go forward in life, whatever you're doing.